The multiverse is a theory that suggests our universe is not the only one, and that many universes run parallel to one another. It is speculated by some that an infinite number of universes exist, and that our universe is a member of something much larger. While different schools of thought exist on the subject, some speculate that somehow people are able to cross over to different realities. In this episode, we will examine one such case, the bizarre story of Lerina Garcia Gordo. On July 16, 2008, 41-year-old Spanish woman Lerina Gordo woke up in her bed and would have a day she would never forget. As Lerina woke up, she noticed the sheets on her bed were different than what she went to sleep in the night before. Lerina was confused and scared, but nevertheless began getting dressed for work. For the most part, everything else seemed mostly normal for Lerina at this time. Her car was parked in the same spot, and as she drove to work, nothing was out of the ordinary. That would soon all change. As Lerina went into the building and approached her office, her name was not on her door. Initially, she believed she was on the wrong floor. Soon, though, she would find out she was working in a different job in the company and for a different manager. Understandably terrified, Lerina left office early that day and reported she was sick. After this, Lerina headed to the doctor as she was convinced something was wrong. At the doctor, there were no signs of drugs or alcohol in her system. Lerina returned home and began poring through more of her personal things. Much of it looked correct, like her bank statements and her bills. Then she decided to check the internet. The major news stories were the same. Lerina was beginning to suspect that she had slipped into a slightly different reality. However, nothing could prepare her for what she discovered next. Lerina had distinct memories of breaking up with her boyfriend 6 months prior. The two had been together for 7 years, and the breakup was not an easy time for her. After she broke up with her boyfriend, she began dating a new man in her neighborhood named Augustine. Augustine had a son, and Lerina recalled enjoying her time with Augustine and his son. She would soon discover, though, that she was still together with her boyfriend, and they had never broke up. Even more strange, Augustine didn't seem to exist. Lerina called his home. Lerina was shocked to learn no one lived in the home by that name. Lerina tried to track him down, but found nothing. She even hired a private investigator. He searched extensively and found no one with that name had ever lived in the town. While Lerina wasn't sure what was going on, she went into work the next day and did her best at the new job. Still, she was confused and thought she might be suffering from memory loss. As such, she decided to visit a psychiatric clinic. There, they would administer a variety of tests and conclude that nothing was wrong with her. They found her physically healthy and her mind to be functioning normally. In time, Lerina's family began to notice what was happening to her. One time, she asked about her sister's shoulder surgery. The family was bewildered and asked what she was talking about. Lerina was adamant that her sister had had surgery, but the family assured her it never occurred. As time progressed, Lerina would continue to notice small things were different. For example, there were clothes she found, but she never recalled buying. Also, on her blog, there were posts she has no memory of writing. Interestingly, the world around her seemed to be exactly the same. It was just the events that happened surrounding her. Lerina concluded she must have moved into some type of alternate or parallel universe. This all raises the question around what could have happened to her. There are several popular theories. The first is something that comes from a medical perspective. One popular theory is that she suffered from some type of amnesia or possibly schizophrenia. There are several types of diseases that can produce false memories and hallucinations. One, for example, is Capgras delusion. Capgras delusion is the belief that your friends and family have been replaced by perfect doubles. While no medical diagnosis appears to explain everything, it seems a medical condition could be the cause of at least some of the strange memories. Still, skeptics will point out weaknesses with the medical theory. For one, this appeared to happen overnight, and Lerina didn't suffer from any major head injury either. By all counts, she appeared to be a very healthy woman with a solid career. In addition, she had strong social support from family and friends. The second theory around Lerina's experience is that she slipped into some type of parallel universe. While this theory makes sense on many levels, one of the issues is that there will never be a way to confirm it. Unfortunately, Lerina had knowledge of someone who, as far as we know, never existed. If Augustine was found and Lerina had intimate knowledge of his life, this would have added some credibility to the story. This assumes, too, that Augustine stated he never met Lerina. However, in this situation as well, skeptics will assume the two are colluding together. In general, the burden of proof is almost unobtainable in a case like this. This leads to the third theory. This is simply that the story was a prank or fabricated. This possibility cannot be ignored. However, it seems more likely than not something did happen to this woman. One other thing that hurts this case is that despite all the attention, it doesn't appear the woman made any type of on-camera experience. This would have boosted the credibility of her story, possibly. Nothing else seems to have happened to this woman, and by all counts, it seems she has accepted her slightly different, alternate reality.